sometimes, guys, when God is trying to do something or God is calling you to something, because I knew that God wanted me to go on that cruise. I knew that that was something that was on my spirit to do, right? And I expressed before that he had given me the provision to do so. And so as I was leading into the cruise, it was very, very hard because I did not know how everything was going to come to fruition. How was God going to show up in this moment? And up until the moment I got on the cruise, y'all, like literally right before the cruise, I had a whole breakdown. I hate being this honest, but I have to be, because at the time I thought that God was going to show up one way and he ended up showing up another way. And it wasn't the way I expected. And in that, it was really, really hard because I was so fixated on what I wanted to see that when God showed up another way, that wasn't my preference. It wasn't the way I wanted him to show up. In fact, in the moment, I'll be honest with you, he hadn't even showed up the way that in the moment, I was waiting on God to make a move, right? And I'm not going to get into specifics, but I was waiting on God to make a move. And what happened was, it didn't seem like God was making the move. Let me make sure my audio is on correctly, y'all, because sometimes I be just going and it's not right, and I need to make sure it's right. Okay, it's right. So I was really struggling because it was things I was believing God for. I did not see that. So right before the cruise, y'all, I'm having a breakdown of breakdowns. I'm not even gonna hold you. Breakdown of breakdowns. And I'm like questioning if I hear God. I'm questioning if there is a God. I'm questioning, like, am I just off base? Like, I've just been believing God for all these things. I've been feeling like I'm hearing God, and yet here I am. Like, I thought God was going to do it. I thought God told me this and that. And it was so funny because I've expressed to you guys before, I got a coach. And so this coach is what before I get into that, for anybody that's on this journey, please have a community. You cannot do this alone. That is why God has created community, because you need somebody. Like, it's imperative. It's imperative to have someone to hold you accountable. It's imperative to have people that can talk you through really challenging moments and seasons of your life, because when you're isolated, the enemy can have a field day. And you can really be thinking that you're thinking what God is thinking, and you're not thinking what God is thinking. You're thinking what you're thinking. And you don't have any other voice to combat what you've told yourself to believe. Okay, so it is imperative to hold yourself accountable to a community. Okay, make sure you're walking in community. So back to this. So my coach, God had told me the day before to schedule an appointment at 11 a.m. I didn't, because I was so consumed with, God, are you going to show up? God, are you going to show up? You told me you're going to show up. Are you going to show up? So I was all in my head about something else that I didn't do it. That night I had a dream. I had a dream that caused me to remember that I needed to reach out to my coach and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be on this journey. I'll only be able to speak to you on this particular day at 11. So I tell her that. She does not confirm it, but it doesn't matter. I go on about my day. I am battling. Like, I'm feeling discouraged. I'm like, God, are you going to show up? Are you going to show up? Are you going to show up? Like, I am going through mental warfare. Like, mental warfare. I call one of my sisters in Christ. I'm like talking to her about this, and she's able to kind of like speak to me through it, like try to speak to me through it. But I'm in the gym now. I'm working out, because one thing you got to know about Sam gonna work out. I might eat everything on the daggone cruise, but I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna work out the whole time. And I did. I was doing like 25,000 steps. I didn't take an elevator. I was working out every day. Your girl, I don't care. Anybody go on a vacation with me, they know. Your girl gonna work out. That's just period. That's just one thing. I might eat everything, which we'll get to later. But anyway, so I'm working out, I'm running. I'm crying while I'm running. And my daughter's watching me, and I hate this because I'm like, oh, I hate that she has to watch me like struggle and go through this. So I'm going through this. My friend is like speaking truth to me. I can tell in my spirit that she's telling me something that is true. However, I'm so in my emotions, I can feel how the enemy is coming into my, like, infiltrating my mind. Like I can feel it. I can feel this dark force like take over me. I really can. I'm like, this is how we come into agreement with the lies of the enemy. And so when we do, he gains legal access to us, either through him asking permission to God from God, or us coming into agreement with some of the thoughts that he's giving us. So I'm feeling myself coming to agreement, like maybe I'm not hearing God. Maybe God isn't real. Maybe I'm come up with all this. Like I'm like literally going through this torpedo of thoughts, right? And I'm sick, and I haven't slept well, and Pastor Kim told me this, Real Talk Kim. She said this to me, and it's so true for anybody listening. The enemy, when he cannot take you out, he will wear you out. And y'all, I was worn out, okay? So my friend gets off the phone with me. I can tell she's giving me truth, and she's getting off. She only had a few minutes, so she has to get off the phone. And it just so happens that when she gets off the phone is the exact time that I had scheduled to speak with my coach. So she called, like, phone hangs up, my coach calls. I look at the time, and in that moment, I realized God already knew I was going to go through this. But he already knew I was going to have a moment at 11 a.m. on this day, to where I had already scheduled an appointment for the exact moment that I'm having a breakdown. So even in that was like, okay, like there's God, right? So, but again, I'm spinning. I'm in spin mode. And so she's like, okay, we're not going to talk about this dream that you had. We're definitely going to be talking. God allowed you to have the dream to remember to reach out to you because he knew that you needed this. And I knew that's true. It was true. So y'all, we go through this whole situation. I'm crying. Like, I thought God said this and God said that, and this didn't happen. And I'm over here. I'm in the worst position. Like, I'm just like, I'm venting. And she's speaking me through. And she's like, Sam, you are on the last mile. You are so close to promise. Like, do not give up. Do not remember the last podcast that you said where you were dry. She's like, haven't listened to any of your podcasts, but God had me listen to this one. And now I know why. You're on the last mile and you're hitting the wall. And I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you give up. Even if I have to drag you to the finish line, you're finishing the race. Then I make a joke because I'm Sam. And I say, I've been dragged in worse ways. I've been dragged in worse places. So she laughs and we get through the moment. And she's like, I want you to go check what you're stressed about. I want you to go check it now. I feel very strongly in my spirit that what you're looking for is there. And I'm like, I don't want to because I don't want to be discouraged. I just checked it like 30 minutes ago. I'm not going to check it again. She's like, check it while you're on the phone. I'm like, okay, I will. So I go and I am obedient to what she's telling me to do. And of course, what she said was there. It was there. And so then I'm now having a different conversation because I done had this whole breakdown. And yes, it wasn't what I expected, but the provision was there. So like now I'm like, okay, I'm able to breathe easier. I'm like, oh, okay. So God did show up. God did do it. Now I'm in a whole different headspace. But again, and I wanted to see the time because I'm sure the time that it was there was probably the time she called me. I can almost guarantee that God made it that way. But it was a great lesson for me because I want people that are watching me and people that are in this moment or have these moments where you're believing God for something and you think God is going to show up one way and he shows up another way. And that's part of why I wanted to talk about this so transparently, because I'm over here thinking it's going to be this. I've been believing God for this. And God's like, I didn't say I was going to do it that way. You were believing for that, and it's coming. It is coming. But I'm now asking you to trust me that if I didn't do it that way, I'm still a provider. I'm still going to meet your needs. I'm still going to make sure you're good. It may not be to the level or extent that you thought it was going to be, but I'm still going to make sure you good. And family, he made sure I was good. I was good. I was fine. It all worked out. Everything that everything that I wanted to do with my child, I did. Anything that came to her thought, she wanted a cupcake, she wanted ice, I did it. Everything, God provided for it all. He made provisions. It just didn't look the way I thought it was going to look.